Hey everyone, this is Justin here, and this is the movie I just saw, the live-action Rurouni Kenshin. Just gonna walk off somewhere and talk about the movie, because there's a lot of people passing by, and I don't want people looking at me just because I'm talking to a camera. So yes, I just got to the theater over here and saw the live-action Rurouni Kenshin, and here to give my thoughts now that I just finished watching it just a couple minutes ago. So yes, what do I say? If you're expecting something along the lines of, let's say, the Avengers or The Dark Knight Rises in terms of how good this movie will be, here's my answer to that. But is it better than, let's say, Dragon Ball Evolution or the conceived live-action Akira movie? Then, any day of the week, twice on Sunday. Do I think this movie's a big disappointment? Story-wise, yes, it is, but artistically and in terms of choreography, it does make up for It really tries to force a lot of material into this one movie. Of course, some characters are taken out. Some characters don't really have much use. I don't know how to say this without revealing any spoilers, but yeah, it's just of course, if you've seen the live-action Initial D movie, you know how much was condensed and how much was taken. They try to fit in too much. This movie kind of does that too. I mean, some changes are of course made. Some changes I understood. Some changes, weren't really necessary. And to those people who are fans of Yahiko, you're going to hate this movie. If you're a fan of Sanosuke, you're going to hate this movie even more. I mean, Sanosuke is just really forced into the movie. I mean, I'm officially revealing a spoiler here, but he really has nothing to contribute to the movie. He's just there for fan service. I mean, Megumi actually has a bigger role in the movie than he does. Actually, she does play a very important role in the movie. Yahiko, he's just there just for the sake of being there. I mean, of course, they do play homage to how him and Kaoru have this brother-sister kind of relationship. But he really does nothing, of course. And other than that, of course, the movie is, of course, centered on Kenshin. And, it does a good job of doing that to some degree. They captured his character very well. And but of course, what's more emphatic is that he's more emphatically a pacifist. The movie portrays that he's kind of more willing to resist. Of course, he's not gonna. He doesn't really try to run away from a fight per se. It's just he knows there's better solutions. And in a fight, he's kind of more evasive. He's more defense oriented, and he uses a lot of counters. Try to think of him as like a swordsman of Miyato Ichiro from Hajime no Ippo. But yes, the actor, he does look a lot like Rurouni Kenshin, but the performance he brings in, he doesn't have the same energy as the original Seiyu, but the energy you put into voice acting and animation isn't something you really can translate into live action, of course. But I think it does a good job of making him more masculine in comparison to, let's say, the anime portrayal. And the chemistry he has with Kaoru, it's very well done here. The nature of the relationship at this stage, it's very well portrayed. I do give it props for that. And, of course, I felt that the rivalry between Kenshin and Saito, it was kind of underplayed. I thought Jine was kind of an underused villain. I thought they could have fleshed him out more. Like, at some points they try and show that he's really an important villain, but they don't really show why he should be important. It's just, I just feel a lot is, taken out, and, just too much is focused on this when, they can focus on anything. Of course, the Avengers has proven, you can have all these characters and they all have some sort of focus. But, that's kind of too much of a thing. But I think, if this were a TV series with the same production value, I think it would be a very, it would be perfect if it were like a 12-episode, J-drama. Each episode's 1 hour, like your standard J-drama. I think it would be very perfect for that. I mean, visually, it does a really good job. The action, it's very well choreographed. It doesn't get, too gimmicky. Of course, the special moves are kind of put into play, but, not really too gimmicky. They're very well placed. The action's really, it's really worth watching in my opinion. But what else? So yeah, it does, of course, like I said, Kenshin is more defense-oriented this time. Well, he kind of always is, but they really, really emphasize it in the live-action movie. That's how he is. He's more dodging of it. He kind of evades a lot. But of course, the whole emphatic of how the mechanics of the technique isn't really well explained. But, just because it's a movie, they just have to show it. But, it does capture the spirit of how it's really speed-based, technique-based, and all that. And, of course, there isn't really much comedy put into it. Of course, Kenshin's more, innocent nature, that kind of works. It's supposed to work as a comedy. While Sano's comedy doesn't really work here. It's not that he used what was used from the manga or the anime. They try to make something new with the comedy with Sano, and it just really feels out of place. I don't want to reveal the scenes as a spoiler, especially in one of his fight scenes, of how they try to make him more comedic. But, it is in nature with his original character. But, it just, it's like, what the hell? How the hell is this supposed to be funny? It's like, well, it is funny in a stupid, it's like a funny in a what the hell is this kind of way. But, not really funny. But, it's like, what the hell, this just doesn't work, as in, to be more elaborate. But, what else? Jinya, he's a very, he's really underplayed. I forgot, Takeda, Takeda, that's his name. He's kind of he's more of the main villain in this, and I guess, for a live action movie, he's the kind of villain that would kind of make more sense compared to, let's say, Shishio, who's a bit more gimmicky, but of course, I think he is possible to use. Jine kind of, is just like he's like the secret main villain, but most of the focus is on Genryu, Takeda. Yeah, I think it was Genryu or Kanri. I didn't really pay attention to the first name, but yeah. He's kind of the main focus villain, while Jine is like the final boss kind of guy. Okay, that was a spoiler, shit. But yeah, I do hope, a sequel can work things out, or maybe they can make a TV series spin-off. Like I said, with the same production values, the same actors, this will work as a very, very good J-drama. And one more thing they gotta get rid of. The music fucking sucks in this movie. I'll admit this is coming from a fanboy's viewpoint from the original Japanese anime. I mean, to me, the music was, of course, from the standpoint of the anime, was kind of what also defined the identity of the original series to me. If you pay attention to my, old anime reviews, you know how much I value music, the soundtrack to an anime. And Kenshin is just one of those soundtracks that's just, really, really awesome. It felt like, the live action initial D without the Eurobeat. That kind of also defines it. I mean, like, try to imagine a live-action Cowboy Bebop, and they don't use any jazz whatsoever. It kind of what it feels like, Of course, there's no TM Revolution, no Judy and Mary, no Larkin CL. The music trying to gives off this Hans Zimmerman kind of feel with the compositions, and they also try to use some choruses in a berserk kind of style. And in the final fight, they kind of use this Eastern Indian kind of style. It does try to invoke the atmosphere, but I'll admit this is mostly because I'm too used to the anime music. It just doesn't really define Kenshin the way I grew up with it. It's just, I want to hear TM Revolution. I really loved how the original anime knew how to mix in, the traditional percussions and the acoustics with modern rock. That's what made the original anime so great, at least to me. And like, come on, no Heart of the Sword is like minus over 9,000 to me. Okay, I'll admit asking for Heart of the Sword is really, really asking way too much, but to me, that was just one of the songs that really brought me into Rurouni Kenshin and also made me a TM Revolution fan. And to me, if people make, top anime ending songs and don't list Heart of the Sword, to me, they're not a true anime fan. Yes, I went there. But, yes, there are certain things that are worth watching for, but overall, I would call this a good DVD rental if you live in Japan. Not something, watching the action in theaters, it is very good to watch. I mean, it's very bloody, very technical, it's very violent. It's really R-rated by American standards, but I think it's rated G here in Japan. I think the equivalent to an R rating in Japan is R15. But this movie didn't get that rating. So yeah, Rurouni Kenshin. Of course, if you're a hardcore fan of the manga and anime, you are likely to watch this. You are likely to understand what certain lines are coming from. Where the series is. If you're not familiar, yeah, you probably will be confused to some degree. But I think it could be a potential good gateway to getting to the manga or anime. Don't, if you're disappointed by the movie, if you're never seen the anime or watched the manga, don't judge the franchise just on this movie. The manga is just definitely one of the best things you'll ever read in your life. And, yeah, the anime, it is good until they get to the filler arcs, unfortunately. And of course, the final OAV, that really sucked a lot. Even Watsky admitted he didn't like it. So yeah, you feel free to check this out at your own, leisure. Thank you.